Hi, and welcome back to another video. And today I'll be talking about this upcoming election in Ontario, one of the big provinces in Canada. This election that was called by the Conservative Premier Doug Ford. Now, if you do not know who Doug Ford is, if you're an American like me, and you do not know who Doug Ford is, basically Doug Ford is the Premier of Ontario, and he, besides Justin Trudeau and some Liberal MPs, is a very big Canadian politician who has been very opposing to Trump. As I can show you this morning, Doug Ford ripped up a contract with Elon Musk's Starlink over U.S. tariffs. Doug Ford says Canada will not work with people hell-bent on destroying our economy, blaming failed deal on Trump. So Doug Ford has been very, very against Trump's tariffs, and he hasn't just been opposing Trump's tariffs, but he has also been opposing the idea of Canada becoming the 51st state of the United States of America, as you can see by this hat, where I believe he went on a show, or I don't know. I don't know what he was doing. I think he was giving a speech, and he had this hat on. I'm not entirely sure, but I don't know the context of it. I just know that he had that hat on. But yeah, what I'm trying to say is that Doug Ford is very, very opposing to these tariffs, to the idea of Canada being annexed by America, and he's being very opposed by Donald Trump. He does not like Donald Trump. He does not like Donald Trump's ideas. So he, along with Justin Trudeau and several other Canadian politicians, have been very opposing to all the stuff Trump has been talking about. And he's kind of been on the front lines here, as you can see what he's done this morning, ripping up the Starlink deal with Elon Musk. And not only that, that Canadians are very, very displeased with all of this. And it's why I do believe that in Ontario, in this upcoming election that Doug Ford called the other day, that he is demanding that he needs more of a majority, a bigger mandate to deal with these Trump tariffs. So this election will be held on February 27th here, as you can see. But I do believe that Doug Ford and the Conservatives will probably win. Why? Because, like I said, Canadians are very displeased with all this, which I can actually show you guys here. So the Canadians, they are ready, as you can see with this article. This was actually today. Canadians ready to boycott American brands over Trump tariffs. At least 3 in 4 want Canada to enhance trade with other partners around the world. Many Canadians are willing to modify their consumer habit after U.S. President Donald Trump announced implementations of the 25% tariffs on imports from Canada and 10% on Canadian energy. A new research poll has found in the online survey of a representative national sample, more than 3 in 5 Canadians, 63%, say they will avoid purchasing goods originated from the United States if a non-American alternative is available. Just over 2 in 5 Canadians, 41%, plan to avoid American restaurants franchised in Canada, while 31% would avoid American entertainment options and 26% intend to cancel a planned trip to the United States. More than 4 in 5 Canadians, 87%, have followed news related to the tariffs very closely or moderately closely. So many Canadians are paying attention here. As you can see, more than 4 in 5 Canadians, which is up to 87%. So looking at that, and then looking at this upcoming election, if Canadians are paying attention so much to this tariffs, to Trump's tariffs, that could really affect their country and the way that they live, that I do believe that they are going to be voting for the person and his party that are most opposing to these tariffs. Now you could say, oh, but these are liberals, right? Oh, of course they're going to be opposing to Trump. But Doug Ford is going on TV. He's wearing that hat that I showed you earlier. He's wearing this hat. He's opposing Trump. He's making all these comments on American news media, and making speeches about it, and doing actions like this. Until ripping up the contract with Elon Musk. So I think voters are going to be very favorable to that, and they're going to like that, and they are going to vote for Doug Ford and his Conservative Party. Don't believe me. Don't believe me. Well, I could show you. So if you go to the opinion polls, and here you can see that Doug Ford's Conservatives have a wide lead in the polls and are most likely to win this upcoming election, which I do believe they will. You also have the NDP and the Liberal. The NDP falling out to the Liberals, and the Liberals now at second place. As of October of 2023, they took the lead back from the NDP, and now they are probably set to be back in the opposition. They tried to become the opposition back in 2022. I could show you guys that in 2022. Unfortunately for them, they were not successful as the NDP. Despite losing 7 seats, we're still able to hold on and stay in the opposition. Liberals unsuccessful. Sure, they gained 1 seat, not quite there. So now we are here at 2025, and we are going to be seeing how they do. You know, if the Liberals are back in the opposition, if it still doesn't work and they replace Bonnie Crombie with somebody else, we're going to see. But most likely, Doug Ford will come out on top, and his Conservatives for being so imposing to Trump, and for him being, yeah, and the other day, before Justin Trudeau, before the Prime Minister made his comment or made his speech about Donald Trump and the tariffs, Doug Ford was one of the people inside the room with the Prime Minister and several other premiers talking about these Trump tariffs, which he will probably be campaigning on later in this next upcoming weeks. And we are going to be, you know, we are going to see him probably say stuff like that, and make his case on why he is the best to combat Trump, these tariffs, and why people in Ontario should keep him as premier. And I believe they will. I believe they'll listen. I believe they'll agree with him, and I believe they'll elect him. Now, you can disagree. You can disagree all you want. Anything can change. And I've said this in several of my videos, that anything can change in this upcoming election, and it's only a matter of time until maybe something goes wrong for Doug Ford and the Conservatives. Maybe this whole tariff thing goes away. Let's say it all goes away. What does Doug Ford campaign on now? So his big thing that he's the main reason why he called this election, the possibility that it could just all go away, right? There's a deal with Trump and Trudeau, and make some sort of deal, and it's fixed, and that Doug Ford, you know, he could lose the main thing he called this election on. You know, it's a big gamble for the Conservatives, and if he loses that, I do believe that the Liberals, you know, really could, you know, start to close the gap on them. So that's another possibility, and I do think it's possible, but at the other time, I do believe that it's not really that realistic. And I think the most likely outcome here, as of right now, Doug Ford and the Conservatives are clearly the favorites in this election, and they will probably win just like they did in 2022. But yeah, we'll be seeing how that all goes down. But anyways, yeah, that's pretty much it for the video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.